Welcome back from the break, and if you love what you are watching, you don't have to miss a moment of pivotal change, now or ever, because it is now on Now Media TV, live on demand, streaming anytime, anywhere. You can download the free Now Media TV app. It is available on Roku or iOS. You can enjoy instant access to full lineup of our bilingual programming. It's both English and Spanish. And if you prefer to just listen on the go and can't watch, catch the podcast version. Again, that's Now Media TV on the website, nowmedia.tv. This is our business to breaking news network, and now we're going to continue on with Ryan Bates and our Pivotal Change broadcast. But again, you can catch us 24/7 anywhere. So Ryan, just a quick recap. We were talking about kind of your journey through the SEALs and the teams and the military impact that it had and how you were able to grow dynamic businesses. You've built and bought and sold companies, and you're running several now, largely in imports, a little bit of retails, and you're on a construction site right now. But I want to focus a little bit more on the human side of leadership. That's what we were getting into. And we know that above probably all other people on earth, SEALs are resilient, they embrace discomfort, and they can apply things like tactical lessons, battlefield strategy, and how to organize logistics. So we're going to maybe move into some of those categories here in just a second. So welcome back from the break, sir.
How's it going?
That's good. So we're going to try to not delay your construction. And kind of one of the first questions I want to get back into is, it's obviously vital to build relationships, both in the military and in business. So what relationship building principles did your SEAL team experiences guide you in, and how have you used that to develop teamwork in your companies?
So I don't know if the team's really, I'd say relationships is networking, right? You're obviously working with special forces of different kinds. You know, a lot of times we're doing work with everything out there, from Green Berets to Polish Grom to everything. So you're always working with different forces. Networking or relationships is really important in kind of entrepreneuring, because it kind of comes back to that same saying that I said, opportunity over passion, and bring your passion to the opportunity. Well, when you network and talk to different people from different businesses, there's so many different ways to make money out there, right? You know, a lot of people get focused on a certain thing, or even making money in itself. Money just gives you freedom to do other things, but networking and talking and constantly asking questions to other people not only helps you learn in your own business, but also it opens your eyes to other opportunities out there. So networking is probably one of the biggest things in any kind of entrepreneurial venture you're doing.
I really like that, opening the door to other opportunities. If you can actually take an interest in somebody, ask them questions, learn more about them and their industry, what they do and don't do, you're starting to open a door and be able to form that relationship. Let me kind of spin back to something you said in the first segment about, you know, let's say you have a team of 8 guys planning an operation. All 8 have a seat at the table. I'm sure at some point there was a disagreement about how a tactic or some type of scenario should unfold. If you don't have a relationship with all 8 of those members around the table, how much does ego get in the way, or somebody's experience versus reputation have to play with it? Where does the relationship component come in that one? And how do you work through maybe some friction when there's all high-level people seated at the table?
Well, it kind of comes back to respect, and also respecting your trade, right? If you're not a good operator, you don't get a seat at the table. And there are SEALs that aren't good operators, you know, and they don't get a seat at the table. Most of us, though, through constant deployment, showing every person, getting respect from that person, they're going to take your advice or take what you're saying in. As in the teams, it's kind of we eat our own. If you're not a tough dude that's putting range time down and a good operator, you're not going to be on the ops, you know. But if you're on the ops, you're respected by everybody that's there, or you wouldn't be on that op. Obviously, as a new guy, you're proving yourself that whole time. You don't really get to say too much, but on your second, third, fourth deployments, and you're a good operator, you have to respect everybody at the table, and that comes from being on point and working hard and not being a pussy. Pretty
Yeah.
much.
So let me ask this question. Is it fair to say that if you are not a contributor, you don't get a say?
If you're not a contributor, you get sent home, and there are SEALs that
Yeah.
get sent home. Like if you're not down and you're not putting your time in and freaking, there's a lot of guys. There's guys out there in every forces that get lazy, let their fitness go, aren't
Yeah.
motivated, not showing up, ready to operate, and those guys get pushed to the side and they don't go on ops. So and then also you get depending on what war you're in, you get pulled onto more ops if you're a good operator. So, if you like, I was a sniper my last 5 years in, I was a good sniper, and so I'll get pulled on to other people's operations just because of that. So
Right.
and most team guys, most SEALs have that mentality. Probably a small percentage are not, and you'll see them. They'll come in for a little bit and then get out quickly because they don't have the respect of the guys.
Yeah. So yeah, they like you said, you eat your own. That usually the contributors, the people that are valuable, willing to continuously put in the work, they continue to have a seat at the table. The other people they get flushed out. So it
Mhm.
sounds like the person that wants to be there, that wants to contribute, that wants to do that, they're willing to do hard things all of the time and maintain their discipline. And maybe not so much in the words of do the hard things, but how would you believe that consistently facing challenges and building traits benefits all areas of like business and family and personal and spiritual growth? Do we have to just tackle what life brings us, or do we have to seek out doing hard things?
Um, That's comes to your discipline, right? Discipline is doing things that you don't want to do, but doing it like you like it. So, uh, you know, there's times I don't want to get up in the morning or make a call or, maybe a couple of my employees are sick. I got to get down, get my and freaking offload, 40,000 pounds of ammo. You got to fill in the holes and not complain and get it done. My wife, I have to be careful about this because, my wife's an entrepreneur herself. She's very successful. She has a company called Salty Honey. Started with 12 grand. It's going to do her 3 million this year.
Nice.
But women are a little bit different. My wife says I can live in misery forever. And so I have to understand that obviously in your relationship, you can't, work too much and you got to, pull back a little bit to keep that family. Happy wife, happy life. If that makes sense.
It does. It
But
does. And yeah,
so and also success. A lot of us look at success as starting a business and making money, right? But there's a lot of different kinds of success. Success in your relationship, success in
yeah,
your children, stepping up and being good kids, success with God. And all those things play a factor about being overall successful. So some people get focused on, I got to make money, I got to make money. But if you have all your discipline in line with your family, your children, your work, your fitness, your health, success will come in business too, and money will come regardless of what you do. So a lot of people like I don't drink alcohol. I used to do it in the teams a lot, but I don't do a lot of that stuff, and that also that comes to contribute to your health and
yeah.
fitness, and keeping a square mind. You'll be surprised on how many opportunities come along that you could pounce on.
Gotcha. So you're telling me that if I keep my marriage in line and have a healthy relationship with my spouse, I keep my relationship with my kids in line and have healthy children and healthy relationships, same with my neighbors, my community, and my church, that will promote me reducing distractions and being able to focus on a business that makes money. Those types of things and the discipline will produce the ultimate success that we might be programmed to think about.
Yes, 100%. And
Yeah.
it's weird. I always think about good energy. You keep yourself disciplined in line, good things come to you.
Yeah.
And you're also in the position where you have the right mindset when that opportunity does come along that you pounce on and crush it to the highest ability. So, I
Right.
might 10 years from now, I might not be into import exports at all anymore. I might be into something completely different I don't know about yet.
Yep.
And sorry, are you guys there?
Yep. We're here. Yep.
Yeah, for instance, all the profit that I make a lot of times.
Yeah. We lost you this for a second. Tell us about the profit that you make all the time. All right, so we're gonna keep that there. He's having some network issues, but I want to point back out kind of what he was saying is that he is creating this four-sided shape to where he can influence people's life. He's focusing on his family, his relationships, his spiritual, his skill, his all of these growth areas, so that he can take that profit and he can do something beneficial with it. So Ryan, tell us what you were going to do with that profit again.
So a lot of times, like every profit that I make from importing, exporting, I end up putting into a lot of real estate. We're building a
Yeah.
75 plex right now. We own countless fourplexes. Providing passive income is really the key to financial wealth. And obviously, the more passive income you have, the more things you can do and with your family and not be so stressed in life. So I focus on a lot of passive income ventures.
Yep.
Obviously, I have my day-to-day work with ammunition, guns, import exports, but a lot of that goes to I live under my means, and a lot of that money goes to passive income.
Love it.
Over the next 10 years, we'll be in a position where honestly there now really we don't have to work as hard as we need to, but I also look at the future of my kids. And I grew up not that wealthy, and I would like, when my kids get my age, that they have something to inherit that they can keep prolonging, if that makes
That's
sense.
awesome. No, that makes perfect sense. And that's a great spot for me to jump in. We got to cut to another commercial break. But if you guys are listening to these wise words, he is setting up not just his future, but the future for his family and his kids, because he's living under his means and he's obeying all of these discipline templates, these discipline procedures, and he's making them a part of his daily life. Sit tight. We'll be right back with more Pivotal Change right after this.